Hey, good morning. Today we have this 2017 Toyota CHR Hybrid. Hi. This vehicle came for its first high voltage battery service. Back of the vehicle, and you guys can see well. The high voltage battery is located right here in the back of the vehicle. All right, so easily to remove the back seat, we have to uncover all this. You guys remember that Toyota vehicles implemented a high voltage battery air filter after 2017, right? Okay, check this out. The filter. Yeah. It's a little mess. This filter is a nightmare to get it over here. What we're gonna do, we're gonna wash it and properly clean it. Pros and cons of having a high voltage battery air filter is good. The battery doesn't get out so much dust and debris, those kind of things, which is great. Cons, the filter will get clogged with dust and debris faster. There it is. All right. Step number one, you gotta take out the service plug grip. Here we go. Service plug. This one is actually smaller. But we also need the service plug as a tool to open this security clip. Yes, indeed. The service plug in Toyota opened the safety clip. Remove it. And there we go. We have fully access to the junction block. Now in the junction block, we need to remove the positive and the negative lead that goes from the battery to the inverter. We also already just disconnect this 4-pin, this is the contactors connection, and of course the interlock. This side we just disconnect the battery management system to the car. Here we go. Ben, how are you? Well, it's dirty, but the good thing is that because it uses a filter, it's not too bad at all. It's completely loosened, so because I'm gonna have to take it out by myself, I won't be able to film it, so we will continue. Yes, there it is. So we're just removing. There's a lot of debris over here. We're gonna leave this as good as it gets. Let's see the battery now. CHR battery. This is actually the 4th generation Toyota Prius battery as well. They're all using the very same. Okay, nickel hydride, so definitely requires servicing. Let's get to the important details. What's going on with this battery? Well, the first thing you need to be aware when this is the service plug grip. Now, the service plug grip does not open the circuit inside the battery, so you have to be very careful because there's always live 220 volts inside the battery. This doesn't open the circuit in half as the previous generation. And there you go. And then we have fully access. But here it is. Let's check the connections of this vehicle before we continue. Condition of it. You see? Quite well. Probably a tiny little. Can you see the burning marks over there? Yes. Those are the marks that begin to happen and create high internal resistance between the connections. So what are we gonna do? We're just gonna take them out. I see many of them, they're having a little sign of burning because this vehicle doesn't have any high mileage. But once we take care of this connection and put it brand new, the battery is as good as it gets. So we open it and take out the cover from the other side, which is this one, and we have fully access to the main connecting locks. Let's see the condition of it. Let me take this out. All right, let's see. 2017. Most of them are looking quite well, but this is my point. You see, there where you begin to see, of course, in the negative contacts, corrosion begins to come. That is the main problem with these batteries. Over time, because of the current flow, duty cycle, higher temperatures, depends, okay? The battery begins to warm up and will begin to create high internal resistance, and this temperature causes the module to begin to swell and leak out electrolyte. That's going to cause that the connecting lock begins to corrode and burn because of the electrolyte. KOH begins to leak out. How safe is to work on this battery? That you cannot open the circuit with the service plug grip. Let me show you. Let's just follow the circuit. Main positive goes around the battery. As you guys can see, there's no open circuit anywhere the battery, so that's telling us there's always live voltage here. So we reach at the main opposite pole, it comes down here, enters the main fuse. So the main fuse then travels all the way this cable to the service plug grip. So the service plug grip, as I said, does not open the circuit of the battery, just simply stops the circuit right before it reaches the junction block. So you know what? It is definitely not safe to work on this battery if you don't have the proper training, all right? So now you know that you definitely have to be very careful. So what are we gonna do? We're gonna take out all the connecting locks. Some of them look pretty burned on this side. Let's check them. So the battery is completely disassembled. The only thing we need to do is apply a little preventive maintenance to this. So what is that about? We already cleaned all these connections, this side, but there's a big problem. Thermal stress is the big problem. You have to remember, this is not just one single battery. No, it's 28 small little batteries connected in series. But each one of the batteries have a certain behave and reaction to temperature. Let me explain. If you apply current flow back and forth, this battery is going to produce heat, right? Charge and discharge cycle, that's what it does. But what happens if you have a bunch of batteries, for example, here in the middle, trapped between them, that creates heat exchange? But the problem is, these batteries, because they're trapped in the middle, they're going to create a little more temperature or thermal stress than here. So because of that, what happens to a battery when it gets warmer than the other? Where the warmer the battery, the less capacity. So what's going to happen, that these bunch of modules in the middle, over time, over a long period of time, they're going to begin to discharge faster. And what happens, that the battery is going to lose balance overall. You know what causes? Battery loss capacity. That's why the percentage goes down. How do we say if you just apply a 50% rotation, all the modules in the middle are going to be located over here, and these strongs are going to be located in the middle. And that causes that the battery is going to restore back and forth more strength, because the modules in the middle that are the strongest are going to suffer less thermal stress. You apply this, I'm not going to say so much often, but probably every couple of years. I will believe so. That's more than enough. You will have a battery for a bunch of years with absolutely no problem. My recommendation, why these batteries need to be rotated. This is clean. I'm just going to rotate it and that should be it. But then, the connecting box over here. Let's see. Some of them are looking shiny, but look, this is not so much my problem. My problem is here. Look at, there it is. You see? In the back, this is the outside. Some of them looking beautiful, but inside is another story. It creates a little carbon build, and of course begins to create corrosion and high resistance. Now let's see the main circuit, which is this one, the one that monitors the voltage. Here you go. Can you see my point? All of them begin to suffer. That is a yes, it's going to happen because of the battery's chemistry. So there's nothing we can do. We just replace it with the new ones. So we took out the battery and we divided in 50%. This is the 50% that was in the top. Now this one is going to be cleaned and going to be now on the lower part. So these modules that were suffering thermal stress are going to be well better ventilated. And the strongest one are the ones that are going to be in the middle. So the same thing we're going to apply in this side. Okay. But Jose, how come we're seeing such a little, I think it's a bigger gap now in the middle? Well, because over time the modules bend. But if you rotate it, they're going to be in this position now, crashing with the other one. So yes, that's kind of normal. But once you push them back away, you will see this gap, but it will go away in time. So after a slight little modification, we were able to assemble, look, the brand new mirror shiny nickel-plated bus bars. Now what we're going to do? We're going to do the process all backward. We're going to begin to assemble the battery. So anyway, you know, understand how the basics about hybrid battery servicing. In this case, we were talking about the 2017 Toyota CHR. So thank you for watching. I'll see you guys in the very next episode. Bye-bye. Don't forget, subscribe.